What is what is up, what is up, what is up, what is up? What is up, Grocknation? Welcome back this evening to Grockstar ASMR. And tonight we are playing a special Halloween edition of the finals from Embark. It's actually been exactly a year since I uploaded a finals gameplay for everybody. I just really haven't been playing it since the springtime or January. One of those two. So you can see I got this happy ghost outfit on. I've actually got two games back to back here for you guys. That were actually played back to back. I think you guys will enjoy. Before we get started though, guys, once again, if you're new to the channel and you like this content, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And as well, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. So I've delved back into the finals just this season. Actually, 2 weeks into the season, I started to play it. And like I said, I haven't played it since, I don't know what. I think it was season 5. I stopped playing 2 weeks into season 5. Just because I got so frustrated with the solo queue. But, I just had the itch to play it again. I really was running out of things to play competitive-wise. I jumped back into Valorant, but that's one of those games where it just feels like you need to absolutely dedicate, X amount of hours every day to, stay competitive, and I don't think I can or want to do that at this point in my life, so I think I want something a little more casual. But, again, forgetting just how frustrating this solo queuing is in this game. I've always said, all seasons I've played the finals, I've got Diamond, except for this season I stopped. When I stopped playing, and it is one of the hardest things I've done in competitive gaming so far. And a huge part of it is because there's only 3 of you on your team. And if one of you is lagging or not pulling the weight, it's really easy for you guys to lose. Whereas in a team of 5 or 6, like most other competitive games are, it's possible to pick up the slack of someone not performing in the finals. Especially in the finals isn't about kills, it's about just basic common game sense. As this game is a game show after all, and it needs to be treated as such. But there are people that just play it as a team deathmatch, and you'll see that in our second tournament with my teammates there. So it does get pretty frustrating at times, and it always feels like it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So I actually played it about 2 weeks ago, 2 full weeks ago now, and I did my placements, and I got placed in Silver 1. So within 2 days I was back to gold, and by the end of that week I was up to gold 2, gold 1. So almost back to plat, or up to plat, which is a level below diamond, which is my peak. There's actually a level higher than diamond, which is Ruby, which you get if you were the top 500 in the world when the season ends. But that's one of those you have to play every day, all day long, and it's not really doable for people with full-time jobs like myself, so it's something I really know is going to be unattainable for me, but Diamond is definitely attainable. Though, as I was getting to, I had my 8 tournament wins a week and a half into this season, and I was like, it's going to be a breeze by the looks of this. At the very least, I should be in Platinum, fighting for Diamond here within the next week or so. I've actually deranked down to nearly Silver as of late, before these 2 amazing games back to back, and yeah, it's been ugly before then though. A lot of first round exits, so a lot of missed points as well. One of the biggest factors for this particular season, which sounds like is an issue with everybody, I'm relieved to find out, is the crashing in the finals right now is at an all-time high. After these 2 tournaments, I got to the second round in the 3rd tournament and I crashed. By the time I got back in, because final players know how long it takes to load back in, especially if you have to restart your PC, because when it freezes, the task manager window is behind the frozen game screen, so you have to reboot your computer and then fire up Steam and then fire up the finals. It's a minimum at least 4 minutes if everything goes quickly to get back in. These are only 10-minute games, so as you can imagine. And the worst thing was 2 of those DCs over the last week and a half took place in the finals for me. One of which I was pretty sure we were going to lose for sure, but the other one was a tie 1-1 game, and we definitely could have won. What really tilted me with that and almost made me uninstall the game was actually because I couldn't load back into the game in time, and I was guaranteed 1200. It was a challenging tournament bracket, so second place was 1200. Because I didn't load in time, I actually lost 1200 and I got an AFK penalty, so a double kick in the balls, and I nearly uninstalled the game that day. And like I said, it happened in another finals, but again, I thought we were gonna definitely lose it regardless. So you probably can't hear me in game here, but I'm frustrated with bringing in the healing beam, as I've been rocking it for quite a few days. Healing beam in the finals is the most support item you can have in the entire game. You keep your team alive with a literal healing beam, which looks like the beam from Ghostbusters, if I'm being honest. In fact, that wouldn't be a bad skin, come to think of it, for them to add to the game. So the glory is all gone when you are playing heals. You don't get the kills, you don't get all the glory for that, but you keep your team alive. You'll know at the end when you have a ridiculous support score, that a huge part of your success, your team's success, is you keeping them alive. As well, heals gives you assist, as long as you're healing your teammates while they're making kills. So at this point, I assumed we were out. So the only way we can advance now, we need to double up these cash boxes. And we actually managed to do that, I'm surprised, but they were all fighting at the other one, so as you can see, number 1 is 31,000, number 2 is 24,000, so this alone would have been really cutting it close, but now, for sure, we lose it to purple, we are guaranteed second, or orange rather. So doubling at the end is a strategy that's done mostly in the higher levels, the diamond levels and whatnot. It puts pressure on other teams, and if you're in first, it's a really good way to ensure you advance. The best tactic in doing this is to try to stay near the cash box, but don't sit on it. Don't try to directly defend it. Just try to avoid teams from taking it and allowing them to fight and kill each other. That is the best way to do this tactic. So, this team I'm with right now actually is a pretty decent team in terms of game sense. As I said, you'll see my frustration with the next team. So at this point we got 20 seconds. I'm just trying to keep them off of it with the gas. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. I got my furnace running and my nose and my throat is constantly itchy. So as I said, I was just trying to keep them away from the cash box, and now we got it. They don't have time to take it if they wanted. Yeah, my allergies and everything else, when my furnace comes on, always kicks in. And if you're watching me stream, I'm constantly itching my nose, constantly, sniffling my nose because of this dust in here. I swear people that are watching would definitely think I have a cocaine problem, but I assure you that's not the case. But yeah, this is a very decent team. I will say, currently being stuck at this elo, which is the gold 4, gold 3, and silver 1 elo. As you can see, I think both my teammates are the same elo as I am. Sometimes it's easy to see that they're either very new or this is their actual peak. They're not going to get better than this. And you look at the stats post-game and you find out that actually is the case for a lot of them. And it could be one of those situations where they're just playing because they enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to work a little harder if they're on your team. There's other factors as well. They might be little kids. Even though the times I play the finals, I like to play during the mornings to avoid that situation. But in a post-game summary, I guess you can see your teammates' levels and basically what their peaks are, and I was shocked over the last couple weeks to realize I'd find a bunch of people that are my same level, because you have a character level from just playing the game. I think I'm 75 or I'm 70, I'm 75, 76, something like that, and I'll find players that are exact same level, and they'll have maybe a quarter of the wins I do. And it could mean that initially I thought they just don't play ranked. Maybe they just play, the other non-ranked game modes, or they play World Tour maybe. As well, it always makes me think of my cousin Joey, my friend Marcus, when he used to talk about League of Legends. And I would tell him on there, I would be teamed up with people that have thousands and thousands of hours, and the choices they make are just mind-boggling. And I remember him saying something, and it's really stuck with me all this time later, because it's true, I guess, for most games as well. But he said, it sounds really arrogant to say, but it's true, and I mean, there's no hate or anything, but some people just don't get better at the games they play. And I think, like I said, being stuck where I'm at right now, watching the decisions some of my teammates make. That very well could be the case. You'll see in the second tournament this team actually is amazing. And what's really funny is both these players are in my next tournament, but they're not on my team. I didn't realize they dematted through second level of lore, so here I am keeping them alive. And then doing some skeet shooting. So yes, since the last time I played, they've changed maps a bit, like the second landing there. There's like a overhang in the entranceway to the hospital in Seoul as well. There's just a bunch of little changes they made that makes it a little easier for teams to attack. You know, it's not so much Hamburger Hill all the time, so that was a really, really sneaky demat, because I wouldn't have known. I would have stayed up top and tried to throw fire down on top of a platform, basically, because it's underneath of it. Did I just say underneath of it? It's underneath it. Sorry, my sleep's been a little off. I worked 10 out of 14 days this past week. My wife's been in Spain for 2 weeks now. I'm throwing fire on there, by the way, in case you're wondering, because if they try to grab him to revive him, they're going to burn. I'm going to know they're burning. But my wife's been in Spain for, I'm not sure now, 10 days, 11 days. She's coming home on Tuesday, so she went for a trip with her cousin, and yeah, they had a blast. She really needed a bit of a break, so I was happy for her. As well, I'm really excited because I told her I'm not upset she went without me or she went traveling without me, but I want to do my trip with Jackass in the spring now. And she agreed, so we are going to do Vietnam and Thailand, I think in May. Ticket prices aren't that bad for myself. It's an expensive trip to make with 2 people, if you're paying for 2 people, but one person is actually pretty decent, so yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited about that. Could be something to look forward to in my, no doubt, going to be my depressed few months after I turn 40, so I'm in shock still that I'm actually going to make 40 years old. I never ever thought I would live to 40. So this is a really great spot to hold if you got this exact cash out. You have to watch for demats and stuff like that, but if they don't have any of that, which they did in this case, it's really good to hold it, and now they are stealing it with a demat, so I threw that knowing it would hurt my teammate, but I would heal him as well. And this is the life of a healer, but I am keeping them 100% alive, and we are successful as a result. Now I'm trying to distract in case they push. Unfortunately, I ran out of bullets before I could kill that guy that's trying to get him. And here I am keeping him alive while he's burning and stealing and getting shot at, so I kill them both, and I'm going to burn them. And then kill them to stop them from stealing. At this point, we're wiped, which is 15% of our income gone, but we're still sitting comfortably first, so. And again, that's a situation where game sense, I could have just held W key and ran in there. When they initially threw the goo down and helped my friend try to 2v2 them. But with how much time was left on the cash out and me having a molly in my inventory, the smart play was to wait, and if my teammate died, to molly the box and then light them up as they are trying to steal it. actually had a newer player ask me recently, I think yesterday, why I bring a molly instead of a grenade. And I told him you just get more bang for your buck with a molly than you do for a grenade. Same thing with a gas grenade, but molly's a little more offensive than a gas grenade. Gas grenade's pure defense. Whereas a molly is defense and offensive. You can throw it on a cash out. And you can throw it at a shield or whatever a heavy has and cause him some damage. I told him to go in first because I would keep him alive. He wants to double it. We double this now, we're guaranteed second, as I said. As I said the game prior, if you're sitting in first place and you double it at the end, you're guaranteed second. And that's what we did. So now, even if any of these other teams get this $36,000 cash out, we're still guaranteed second. So we're guaranteed to advance to the finals. So right now it's all about just trying not to wipe. You're ranking up and everything else, you get more points, and your leaderboard climbing, if you care about that, goes up with how much money you make. So obviously getting kills will give you $500, so at this point it's just about getting kills and keeping our distance. I really don't care about the cash out at this point because we're guaranteed to move on to the final round next game. As you can see, I'm burning players with that fire. But as I told that player, you know, it's that reason. It's cash out denial and it's offensive. A grenade can bounce past people. It does one-time damage. You know, it doesn't do lasting damage. It's not a cash out denial because it'll just hurt one or two people who's on a cash out, and they'll keep cashing out, and or it'll bounce off of a dome. It bounces off of the dome. It's no good anyway. Whereas a molly will actually burn the character underneath the dome. So I'm pretty sure I get killed by a light at the very end there. Alright, so we are moving on to the final round, and it's looking really well. Our medium hunter team is 11 in 2. As you can see, I'm 5,500 for support score. The closest on my team is 700, and the other one's 300, and that's from assists, purely from assists. My assist score is being so high is coming from my healing beam, so like I said, you kind of got to put the glory aside, but it's about keeping your team alive and ultimately winning the game. As a result, you all get the same amount of XP, or I'm not sure what it's called, the point system when you level up. So we're in a final round. I'm going to switch to gas, because gas is purely defensive and cash out denial. And when you're dealing with one team instead of 3, it's a lot safer to bring gas in for that reason alone. So that's what I'm thinking of. I really like the overlay I did this year for the Halloween theme. I had one already. I didn't mean for that to jump down. I remember that. I was like, oh damn. I like the Halloween design though. It's really nice. So I'm trying to keep this guy alive. He got zapped from our teammate, and now it's a 1v1. And that's it. Nice go from him. I actually had to make those tabs custom myself. I actually bought the original ones last year when the finals launched. I found a guy in Etsy that made them exactly like this, but the interface actually changed from last year to now quite a bit, so it doesn't fit anymore. So I actually did this with Affinity Pro, which is where I edit my YouTube thumbnails from, as well as some photos I take on Instagram and whatnot. So here's what I mean with denial. No, that's why, you know, I have those gas canisters there. So I'm pretty sure none of them have fire, as in there's no flamethrower on this enemy team. So they, you know, if you get a flamethrower, you can burn away the gas cloud. And that's not going to happen this time. So there I am. I'm healing them until my beam is actually out. They're trying to burn my gas off with that orange canister, which is explosive fire canister. So there's our heavy. Our heavy's really hurt. I'm trying to keep him alive here. As you can see, it's not really pretty. You're not getting a ton of kills. You're just purely keeping your team alive. It's probably the biggest, I want to say, game sense role in the game for sure is medium medic. You have to be on your toes, and your number one priority is always your healing beam, not fighting per se. And if it is fighting instead of healing, then you're playing the role wrong. Unless your team is absolutely annihilating the lobby, and it's somewhat of a mismatch. So there's the gas on there. Now if they were to come up here and kill me at him, they don't have a healing beam on their team. We know that much, so they would not be able to. They would die from this gas. So that's the first cash out. I just realized I didn't know I switched to the AK-47. There's actually, here's when I'm like, okay, I'm bored of just healing. I want to get a kill, and then I get annihilated. I told him he's just right to it, so this is so funny what he does here. He shoots a gas. He shoots a gas mine, and the gas kills him, because I got him so low. But that's funny. As I was saying, there is a P90 in the game now from the last time I played, and it is a great gun. Truth be told, it's the gun I use the most. I was actually trying to mix things up by using the classics here. And also for the fact that the FCAR has a Halloween-themed gun for this season, so that's why I was rocking the FCAR in the first game. Even though 100% the P90 is meta right now, if you're a medium. If you're looking for an assault rifle, that's definitely the weapon you should be looking for. So I'm not exactly sure what happened here. I think they C4'd the bottom, if I were to guess. At this point, I'm thinking it might be smarter to wipe, because they haven't put the box in yet. They're a ways away from both boxes, 120 and 116. So by the time we load back in, they shouldn't even have it cashed out by then. This is what I mean by sometimes you get these lower elos and they don't know how to play with time like that. They try to token in, you know, initially when they lose the first fight for the first cash out, instead of just wiping. Whereas experienced players like myself, if they lose that first battle for the first cash out, no one's got any money anyway. It's 3v1, you're better just to kill yourself so your team can spawn back in and get a fresh start as a group. But a lot of times in these lobbies that doesn't happen. They token in because they want to get into the fight again, and it's not an important fight to take. But I got tired of using the P90. I was like, I want to use one of the other guns here. Oh. As a story of my life, this particular round is getting everyone down to one shot and then dying. See my teammates using a P90. And my heavy's using the Shaka. They are really, really Still meta weapons shock up, but this thing just shreds the P90. This part actually is pretty funny. So he goes for it, and our teammate steps on a mine, a gas mine. And I'm like, you need to steal it before they come back. So this is what I'm doing. That's the funniest thing. Because this team is like right here. And like I said, this is the dying seconds of this match. So, you know, that literally could have cost us the game. Maybe not the game, but at least the score for sure. And there I am giving it extra gas. There isn't anything they can do. And that's it. We got it. So really, really good team. There was comms and everything. It was a dream for a solo queuer to have. It was a dream for a solo player to have. Look at this, a sport core score. At least amount of deaths, most revives, and the most objectives just by one though. But this team was amazing. They actually made being the medic worth it. You know, I didn't have to really worry too much about making plays with a D-mat or a turret and worrying about that. So we're back to gold 3 as of right now. I'm going to change my tournament dubs from 8 to 9, guys, and we are going to get back into another one, which is right after this one. Okay, so here is the second game. Again, this is right after my first one. I'm going with a heavy class here, as I do want to mix things up. We are on Seoul right now, which is one of my favorite maps in the game. I love Seoul and I love Las Vegas. Those are my two favorites. I have a lot of old school finals pros that are always like, why do you like Vegas, Grock? Everyone hates it. I actually don't mind it. So initially right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I got a Brazilian player with a pistol, so he's probably not going to have comms because he's Brazilian. A lot of them don't talk. That's another reason if you're going to get angry at people not talking here. Sometimes they just don't speak English. And we got a light. But at least he's a light with an SMG, I'm telling myself, and not a sniper rifle or a sword. Which, you know, sometimes it works out, but 9 times out of 10 it just throws your game. So In Your Face was in the final game of last game's final round. He was on the enemy team. He's the team we beat. So here we go, game number 2. I'm rocking the Halloween themed M60. Again, it's the only reason I'm using the M60s because I want that Halloween theme. And there we go, I got $1,000 for our team. That is what I rushed there for. There I make an idiot of myself. Burn my own face. So the M60 is a good light machine gun. It's got 70 rounds, which is nice, and the recoil isn't the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Damage-wise, it does about as much damage as a minigun. It's a minigun with 120 rounds less, or 130 rounds less, but it's got control. It's not, you know, minigun, you got no control. You basically got to use it, in my opinion, like an SMG or a flamethrower. It's got to be cranked ahead of time, and I just don't use it. It's fun to play with sometimes, but the M60 is a really good option in terms of meta for LMGs in a game. 100%. The Lewis is the gun to go with. It's got, you know, I think only 40 rounds or 45 rounds, but the recoil on it's amazing. The time to kill on it is really good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Lewis. In fact, I think I switched to the Lewis after this round, but initially I just wanted to play with my Halloween themed gun, basically. I'm not sure at this point what is shooting at us or who's shooting at us, what team it is. I think it's the pink team. But again, I'm like, okay, we need to deal with this orange team. This healing pill or whatever it's called, that's brand new to the finals too for me. That was never there before. It doesn't heal too much, but I think I actually hit a mine or a orange container. But it's good to get the healing started. It slowly heals before your healing starts, basically, your own healing. So I got wiped, and there we go, there's one person that's been kicked. Disconnected or kicked. Like I said, there is an epidemic in the finals right now with players getting disconnected, including myself. So the game after this, we were on Seoul, and a player actually disconnected from an enemy team, and I mentioned it to my teammates. They actually had mics, those team, or that team. I said, dude, this game is so goddamn buggy right now. It crashes so much. And I told them I crashed actually twice in 2 finals last week. And just as I was telling them that I crashed, I actually had to have a laugh. But again, by the time I loaded in, the game was nearly over. And the one guy asked what happened, and I told him exactly what I told you's been happening. I crashed. And really, I've done every remedy to try to fix it that I can find online. I've made the game, and we're running it as administrator, which gives it priority in terms of your computer running things. I've made sure my graphics driver is updated. There's one more thing as well I had to do. Oh, I checked the integrity files on Steam, everything, and then I was out of frustration. I went to the finals group, and I can see that, this has only been happening this season, and it actually hasn't. It actually was fixed, I guess, up until this season. People were not crashing at all. But starting this season, people are starting to crash again. I don't remember. Right there, you see my face. I actually thought I crashed. See, I just said I thought I crashed. I think that could be one of the reasons why I went on such a drought over the last week, is because I've been crashing so much. It's actually really hard to concentrate or really commit to a game when it feels like, it's just a matter of time before you crash, kind of deal. And like I said, you crash in a game like this, it's not just as quick as booting it back up. It takes a long time to get back in game. It takes a long time to boot up. As you can see, that wolf spider, he reconnected. So from the time he disconnected when I talked about this, which is about 4 minutes ago exactly, he's finally back into the game. He's a part of the pink team, and the pink team is sitting dead last right now. So, yeah, it's happening to everybody. And I want to keep playing this, but I don't know if it's worth the hassle, especially if a situation where you crash into finals, which happened to me, if it's worth your sanity. Because, I've always said I'm a super, super competitive guy. Everything I've done in my life, I'm super competitive. And I'm the type of guy where if I can't win something, I won't play, kind of deal. And that's how I felt. As I started to feel rather about this game, like if it's going to crash on me, maybe I'd rather not play because there's a good chance I'm not going to win the game, kind of deal. And it's unfortunate because it's such a fun game, you guys. It truly is. I'm so shocked at my friends that are big Call of Duty fans, because that's what this is. This is like a mix of Call of Duty and Battlefield. The parkour, the arcade style, fighting, all of it. And on top of it, it's got, you have to use your brain because, again, it's like it's a game show, right? Like, it's about money, getting money and points. It's not about kills, and, it's unique in that sense. I think that's why it's actually still alive and it hasn't died. But I'm shocked that they don't want to play it, or they don't play it. This is one of the reasons why I take charge and slam is heavy. You can crash through when they're stealing it, you can knock them off of the box. But yeah, super fun game. Unfortunately, no one I know plays it, and then when you get teammates on here, because you'll meet people and you'll add them on here, there's really no good messaging system, so you'll see them online, you don't know if they're in a party or if they want to play. And, yeah, so it makes, unless, like I said, you have an actual friend that plays this game with you, you're solo queuing most of the time. And solo queuing in here, like I said, is one of the hardest things in gaming, for sure. One of the most frustrating things by far. So I'm telling these guys I gotta heal up here. Another thing that's changed, I guess I should mention, is the lights now have like a healing beam gun. So they can actually shoot you with heals, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so that's different. So now it's not just a medium that can heal you. As well, the heavy was given a mobile healing ball, which you can drop, and it'll mass heal whoever's around it with a little mini healing beam. So that's new as well, which I do like. They gave it so that, it's not just on the medium shoulders to run heals, which I really like. Yeah, that character you're seeing in the back of that screen is actually he's the main character you unlock in a battle pass. He's like Odin. The battle passes are different now as well. Really unique. They have the free one, which everyone gets, and you get a little bit from each book or each page. And then you have the regular battle, or the premium battle pass, which you get everything on the page. And then they have a legendary, I think it's called battle pass, and it's $40. And you get additional things on the page that only legendary gets, including a really cool black Odin. Like all black, he looks like the Nordish Odin. So I guess that's their new tactic to make some money. It seems a little excessive to me, but I looked at everything that was in the Legendary Battle Pass, and I'm like, that is nice. So between the Legendary Battle Pass and the funds I had on Steam, I think I had about $60 in funds on Steam. In my Steam wallet, I spent about $100 on this game 3 weeks ago when I first started playing it again. So you can imagine my frustration with the fact that it's crashing as much as it is. It's very, very unfortunate and extremely, I don't want to say unprofessional, but embarrassing for a game studio to just be running like this. With, like, it's been going on for a month at least, because this season's been on for about 3.5, 4 weeks. And everyone's been complaining it's only been happening this season, so you figure they would 100% be looking for a remedy to fix this. But it doesn't look like it's the case. So I haven't really been watching the gameplay here, but yeah, Ghost and I can't remember what his name is in the purple team. That's the medium from the tournament we just won, and the Ghost is the purple heavy. He's the heavy from the game we just won. So, sorry, just adjusting my chair. Both my teammates from the tournament we just won, we're in this tournament. And we're all on separate teams here, so that's one thing I find with the finals that's very frustrating, is I can't believe I missed this guy. He just straight up, like a bullfighter. Like a bullfighter, he absolutely... He pulled up the red sheet, and I ran right past him. It was a matador, for sure. I'm talking about how, and I've noticed it more and more, playing the heavy, the hitbox for that is really slim. It's a little too slim, I think. What I'm saying here is they should widen it a little bit and just reduce the damage if you didn't do a direct hit. Because right now I just use it for breaking stuff and cash out denial. Realistically, I should be able to use it on light melees and whatnot, and it should work. But like I said, they can just pull Matador on you and get rid of it. But I was saying earlier, I haven't been paying attention to the gameplay here. I've been really frustrated with this team. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. They said they're very, very kill-oriented. Not really objective-oriented. In terms of objective-oriented, they go for the boxes, which is perfect, and they put the boxes in. But in terms of defending it and awesome score, that's the guy. No, they're not in the same team. It's not awesome score. Damn, I can't remember. I think he's on a pink team. Yeah, because Ghost is on this purple team. That was my heavy. Got him again. You're gonna see right here. I just fall off the map. But defending and attacking. Not playing the smart moves to defend, they actually just run out and go for the kills. At one point, wait a second, I think Pink is, or Ghost is. I don't know, I'm getting distracted here. My teammates are on one of these teams, purple and pink, one each. But they're not doing smart plays in terms of defending cash outs. It's all about kills, and you know, you'll see in the final round, there's a lot of times where I'm left on the cash out myself. When it's a critical time. Right now I'm telling them we're going straight in. And it worked. We were getting shot from the other pink player, which I could see coming around the left side, so I'm going to body block while they try to kill him. Gives him enough time to steal it. So again, that's one of those things you really got to think about when you do it. It might not work with a light or a medium, but with a heavy or a bigger target, you can actually stand in front and eat those bullets. But that's a situation where, you know, a little bit of game sense definitely helped us win that box. So this Lewis I'm using is actually last year's Halloween gun. Came out around Halloween time, and it's supposed to look like a haunted roller coaster, like a haunted carnival kind of deal. It was one of the weapons that came out. I'm really disappointed they really didn't do much for an event this year. Last year they had like a wheel you could spin and win prizes like Halloween skins, stickers, and such. Right there, it had to escape. That little bastard almost melted me. But it's a really cool design. There's actually a little roller coaster that spins around it. All three of them were up, unfortunately. But it's a nice weapon. Okay, it is. Ghost is on the orange team and awesome scores on the purple. So those are my two teammates. Those are the ones I won that tournament with. Ghost was the one that wasn't talking. And I can see from his icon that he's playing on a console, easy, so. I don't know why this is, but sometimes Twitch VODs, they look all choppy like this. Like, this is supposed to be 1080p. This actually looks more like 480 for a second. It's getting better, but I find that's a lot with Hunt Showdown as well. Like, if I'm playing on Showdown and I'm on a night map, it's, I knocked both of them off. Well, I killed the one guy, and then I threw our poor old teammate Ghost. I knocked him off the map. But I find when it's nighttime, everything looks amazing, but daytime like this, when it's bright, it's really pixelated. And I know that when I record on slobs as well, see, this is what I mean. He's going over there, and I'm like, why are you going? That orange team is going to come right back. We're not even halfway cashed out. And I'm telling him, we need your help back here. They went to grief the purple team, and now they're here. We actually get lucky, I think. Here, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, we weren't set up at all for this, unfortunately. Super frustrating. We should have lost this. We should have absolutely lost this. It's just by chance that the purple team showed up just as these guys were stealing it. As you can see, the pink team's up top looking down. And now they're stealing. And they're just griefing them. So we actually got it. So that's our first break, I think, of this tournament so far, based on bad plays. Bad plays in terms of decision making, but sometimes it's what you need in the finals. You definitely need a little bit of luck. So I can see right now that both those teams are still fighting on that old cash out. What I'm telling my team is we should defend 5, cash out 5. By defend, I mean potentially not put it or not tap it, and let it run out, because then we'll be guaranteed second. But at this point, I can hear a team pushing me, and unfortunately, like I said, there's our teammate dead over. He tried to grief. He tried to grief the pink team, and now he's dead. So he's away from me and my other teammate. So this is what I mean when, like I said, some players are just, they're kill oriented. There's my old teammate Ghost, feels bad. And at this point now, like, the only way, he has the token in now, we can't go and get him, it's not possible. But now I'm telling my teammate, just keep that box away and don't let them cash it out, and we will be good. This charge and slime is so good. So there we go, there's no way, there's 8 seconds, it's going to disappear. So now they're not going to be able to cash that out. Hypothetically, they throw that on D and A, we have to fight for one of them for sure. But now it's only that 12,000 cash out on the other cash out that we have to worry about, and there's no way they're going to knock us out, so we're guaranteed. Which is why my guy's drinking his cup of coffee. So there we go, we're back in the finals, back to back. I didn't put the pumpkin, the 3 pumpkin inflatable this year, which usually sits in front of my poster. I don't know if you guys noticed or I mentioned it in the previous video, but I moved all my Street Fighter pictures above because I wanted to actually do 3 posters on that wall, but I tried it and the arcade machine prevents you from seeing the second poster, but I have so many posters. I just wish I could put them all up. I removed Emma Frost. She's sitting off to the side there. That's a really nice poster I got. I was actually listening to Rihanna at work, and it reminded me of how much I used to love Rihanna. Like, not just her music, but just like what a sex icon she was of the 2010s. She's one of my favorite, I'd say, singers of all time. I was so in love with Rihanna when I was in my early 20s, early to mid 20s, and she ruled the world before she retired. So I love that. That's from EQ. That picture, that photo shoot she did. She was so. She was like the it girl in my opinion. She had music I could listen to and really vibe to, and she was just gorgeous on top of it all. Anyway, enough about Rihanna. Let's get back to this final matchup. I don't know if you guys noticed, but both my teammates didn't make it to the finals. I brought that up in my... Oh, I ran into the... I remember this. I ran into that container. It slowed me up enough that I got killed. Or the barrel, sorry. It slowed me up enough that I couldn't get to my teammate. I died. Right here, and this is what I'm talking about. He should die. There's two things which, for me, showed me the level of game sense on both teams. So this teammate of mine should wipe. Right now, he should wipe. They don't have control of the cash out. And they're looking for him actively. And this is what I'm saying right now, as I'm talking. This enemy team should have had this cashed out. While this guy was playing around, trying to avoid getting wiped. This enemy team could be 20 seconds into a cash out right now. And I think it's 2 minutes for a cash out. They could be 20 seconds into a cash out right now. But instead they stuck around to play team deathmatch. So again, if they were smarter, we would be picking up our pieces and trying to go for, defending it. They would probably have one guy left to grief us like this. But they could literally be cashing out right now. Now they'd be a minute into the cash out. There'd be a minute left. They would be halfway done. So now they're wiped, the pink team. And I want moving platforms. I'm sure I've mentioned it in other final games for sure, even though it's been a long time. Like I said, you put the cash box in, you grab gas, and what you want to do is put the gas canister at the very front platform, and that way when you get pushed on your platform for the cash out, that guy was overzealous. You'll gas the enemy team. I think I dropped it there. Yeah, I did. Just trying to avoid getting killed from this guy. Didn't have my rocket loaded. But yeah, if you drop the gas canister right where this guy's body is, and you shoot it when they get on the platform, they all get gassed, and then you can peek around and get free kills. And or they just die directly from the gas. That's why I bring a gas grenade in as well. So you shoot the gas, 1 or 2 containers, you make a big cloud with that, then you throw your gas canister or your gas grenade, and they'll all die from the gas. So right now I'm like, this is another thing. I'm like, why aren't you guys here? He's trying to go for a revive, and I'm by myself, and they're here. So this is what I mean when I'm trying to say, like, we got lucky. Because it just shows, in my opinion, that both of our teams were bad. Yeah, I'm telling them I told you could have tokened in. But this is just the kind of things that happens. So, we actually, spoiler alert, we won this game, obviously. I actually got to put with this exact team, and they weren't queued up together the very next game. And we were in a better lobby, obviously, a more game sense level lobby. And we got completely annihilated. Our light, once again, I think he got like 11 kills in that game. But we finished dead last in a tournament. Because because we just were not, he was playing for kills, so right there, they both died. Now we wipe. We all load back in together now, which is fine because the box hasn't even been tapped yet. There I am saying we definitely shouldn't have got that cash out because we got such a killer-oriented team. But again, like I said, it just shows like how lack of game sense the other enemy team has as well. I don't know how they lost that. I really don't know how the enemy team lost that once they stole it. It doesn't make sense. We just, like I said, I feel like we just got lucky. We definitely should not have won that. But like I said, a game like this, or a team like this, I guess if you're in a lobby like this, you can and will do well if you just turn your brain off and just WK, you know, you could get away with it in a lobby like this. But in those bigger lobbies or the harder lobbies, diamond lobbies, platinum lobbies, you know, this stuff won't fly. You're dealing with smarter players that can also kill. So again, now I'm looking for canisters. I think I actually hear one of them to my right is what I'm thinking here. And yep. So that's an easy couple kills for us there. So now there's only one guy left and he's wiped. So again, now we have about a minute and a little over a minute and a half left. So I know, like, for sure, if I don't kill them directly from the gas, I'm going to keep them off of it long enough they can't steal from us. So that's what my goal is. I'm gonna tell them that I'm gonna stick with the cash out. I think they both go and take clinic care. I tell them I hear them behind us, so just in case they're there, I'm making a cloud, and no, they're not there yet. They're not on the platform yet. So we're gonna wait a bit more. If there actually was a gas canister on this platform near the hospital here, I would have grabbed it, but we don't have one. So right now they're delaying them, which that's why I'm saying good job. They're keeping them from coming here. But I did do it again too early. I can hear them now for sure. Okay, so now again I'm just trying to delay them. I knocked one off, I think. Oh no, I didn't. But now they got like next to no time. And that's it. So we won it. Larry, I'm saying I don't know how we did it, but we did. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, a team like this doesn't win the game. We get shit on 9 times out of 10. But yeah, like I said, it was so messy. I don't know how we did it. That guy was 18 kills, 9 assists, 11 deaths, 7 revives, 18 objectives. Like I said, super hyper aggro player. But I mean, like I said, on a tournament like this, that could work. But the very next tournament, I get put with these exact same 2 people, just by chance. I remember even typing in "Let's defend our title," and we got floored. Like I said, he got 11 kills that next game, but we didn't get a single cash out. At one point, I think he was off on his own while me and the other guy were trying to take a cash out. He was off trying to get a Grave team, and yeah, it didn't work out. But with that being said, though, guys, that's going to be it for the finals. I got you guys a couple games back to back, so hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I have other Halloween content or oriented content gameplay. I got a spooky stories and murders and mysteries coming out in the next 2 weeks. So with that being said, though, guys, have a great day, great night, whatever that may be for you. And peace out. Peace out, 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 peace.